solstice. The equinox, I'm a little early for solstice, but an equinox practice. We're going to do a quarter mala tonight, so 108 sun salutations is a full yoga mala. And we're splitting that up for the solstices and equinoxes, the changes of the season days, so that by the end of the year we'll have completed that full mala. Anytime you can do 108 sun salutations. And you can do all of the sequence A, all of the sequence B, or a combination. So we're going to do a little bit of a combination tonight. I have coins at the end of the mat just so I can help myself stay on task in the number of things. So enough explanation. I say we take a breath, roll shoulders back and down. You're going to turn your palms out. This is Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's pull our stomach muscles in, engage the pelvic floor, and inhale through your nose. Sweep your arms up overhead into a salute. We exhale into a forward fold, folding the upper body directly over the legs. Let the crown of the head parallel itself to the floor. Inhale, flattening your back for a half lifted position. And as we exhale, we're going to take the hands to the mat. Step your feet to the back of the mat into a plank, and still exhaling, lower down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale for Cobra, releasing your legs to the mat. And exhale, roll across your toes for a downward facing dog. Let's take a breath or two in downward facing dog. And we'll look forward to the top of the mat. Step your right foot forward and your left foot forward into the half lift. Exhale as you forward fold. We're going to slightly bend the knees and inhale as we sweep our arms up overhead. And exhale back to mountain. That was our first serene exercise. Inhale, sweep arms up overhead. Really reaching those fingertips up and lengthening your torso. Now, exhale, fold. Parallel crown of the head to the floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, we'll step back to the back of the mat. And exhaling still through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dogward cobra. And exhale, roll across your toes for a downward facing dog. As we inhale, we're going to step forward with the flat back at the top of the mat. That's half lift. Exhale, fold. We inhale as we sweep our arms up overhead. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward to the top of your mat and hold downward facing dog for me. From downward facing dog, we'll step forward into a half lifted position. Exhale, fold. Sweep your arms up overhead as you inhale into a salute. Exhale, back to mountain pose. Welcome. Namaste. Namaste. Inhale. Sweep your hands overhead for salute, reaching the fingertips away from your body. Pull your belly in. Exhale for your forward fold. Parallel your head to the exhale, we're going to step to the back of the mat, lower our bodies to Chaturanga Dandasana. Knees can be on the floor here. And inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Rolling across the toes for downward facing dog. We'll hold downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, feel your backs of your legs lengthen as your heels drop down toward the floor. Push the floor away with all 10 fingertips and press your heart back towards your knees. We can look forward and step to the top of the mat with a flat back and half. Lift, exhale, forward fold. Slightly bend the knees. We're going to inhale, hands overhead into a salute. And exhale into mountain. All right, in mountain, let's root down through all four corners of the feet. So all 10 toes are going to engage. If you can bring your feet together, stick your feet down in to the ground. Turn the palms out. Sweep arms up overhead, and let's try to bend the back just a little bit this time. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. As we exhale, we're going to step the feet with as few steps as we can to the back of the mat. Rock forward to the tippy toes and lower down. Your knees can be on the floor if that helps you. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Push the floor away and reach the crown of your head away from your ears. Roll across the toes and lift the hips for downward facing dog as you exhale. And we're going to inhale and step to the top of the mat into a half lifting position. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Overhead to a salute. And do that little miniature back in. And when you're ready, exhale. Bring your arms back down to the side for a mountain pose. Let's go again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We've got our salute. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga Dandasana. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, salute. Exhale, mountain. Hold mountain. Close down your eyes, and we're going to take several deep breaths before we transition to our first serene Namaskar beat. this time, we're gonna lift the right leg and then bend the right knee and bring your right foot to the top of the mat. And you'll sink your back heel to angle your foot. Then we peel the upper body off of the lower body for warrior one. Look up between that space in your hands. On your next exhalation, we're going to go through Chaturanga Dandasana again. Inhale. Up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left toes rise. We'll bend left knee and drive left foot to the top of the mat. Sink your right heel at an angle. And peel your upper body off the lower body. Looking up through that space in your hands. And at your next exhalation, go back through your vinyasa. Exhale down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale. Up dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat between your hands. On your inhale, step forward into the half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're going to keep the hips low, bring knees forward for chair pose or Utkatasana. Look up if you can between the space in your hands. And we're going to go back through. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. We'll go through our vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right toes rise. We'll bring right foot to the top of the mat. Sink your left heel. Sweep hands up. Sweep hands back to the floor. Through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Left toes rise as we inhale. We'll bring the left foot to the top of the mat. Sink the right heel. And we were going to hold our warrior one. In warrior one, we want to keep the back foot engaged fully, so you're not like rolling onto the inside big toe area. And we can go back through our vinyasa. And we're going to hold down dog and catch our breath a little. In down dog, push the floor away with all 10 fingers. Push your heart back toward your knees and down dog. Look forward, and on your next inhalation, step your feet to the top of the mat and do your half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms up overhead. Exhale, back to mountain. We're back to serene namaskar. Inhale, hands up overhead. How about if your arms up overhead to a salute. Squeeze your glutes together and exhale into mountain. All right, let's take a few deep breaths, check in with the body. Try to hold a root lock, which is just simple as some pelvic floor engagement throughout our moves. Let's inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your feet to the top of the mat into half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep hands up overhead into salute. Exhale, hands back to mountain. And by now, I hope you're really opening things up and reaching far as you can through a range of motion through all of our moves. Let's inhale. Salute. Exhale. Fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. We're getting our ears away from our shoulders. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, stepping forward, back into the half lift with the flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms overhead and exhale back to mountain. Again, inhale. Belly's tight, exhale. Inhale. Vinyasa, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, back to mountain. See if we can get that heart rate up. What number are we on? Match the sun. We've got a couple left in A, and then we've got our two B's, and then we do it all one more time. Okay, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Math. Right now, of all times. That's why I have the counter. All right, so let's pick up the pace a little, and then we'll slow it back down when we get to the B's. Okay, so for 2, let's go. Inhale, belly in, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, down dog, exhale. Inhale to half lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. Half lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, feet to the top of the mat into half lift. Exhale, fold. Sweep hands up overhead. And back down for mountain. Beautiful. This time through Surya Namaskar feet. Let's start in chair. You want to book into your ears with your biceps. Pull your belly in. Exhale into a forward fold. Let your crown of your head parallel itself to the floor. Inhale for a half lift, flatten your back. Exhale through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. And we all know how down dog feels so good, right? Let's pedal those heels in down dog. Right toes will rise. We'll bring that right foot to the top of the mat. Sink your left heel and then peel your upper body away from your thigh. Back heel and peel upper body. Off left thigh for warrior one. And then through our vinyasa. Up dog. Exhale down. Step forward into the half lift. And we'll bend those knees. And exhale into chair. Swan dive back to your fold. Let your head parallel itself to the bottom of or to the floor. We're going to step back. We skipped half a lift, but I think it's going to be okay. Throw it down to chaturanga dandasana. Inhale. Outward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, all 10 fingers are engaged in down dog as we lift the right toes and bring the right foot to the top of the mat as we sink the left heel at an angle. Feel upper body off lower for our warrior one. Sweep hands back to the floor for vinyasa, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left toes rise. Left foot comes to the top of the mat. We'll sink back heel at an angle and peel upper body off of left thigh. Again, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Forward, come into your half lift. And we come into our chair. Nice job. Back to mountain. All right. Let's take a moment, kind of wiggle and ground. Grab a drink. There's water over here if anybody wants some. Okay. Is easy, right? No problem. So where are we at now? We have 9 left, so we must be at 18. All right, let's complete this Equinox practice today. So we have beautiful enough weather for decks to be built. And we're lucky to come together, I think, to be able to get this rolling for all of us that are here in our community that we hope to see with us next time at other events that we're doing. So let's hang in there and finish up this last round for them. And then we'll have a quick meditation and then sips. Good stuff here. Inhale, we've got Surya Namaskar A. We're going to salute, Pull your belly in, squeeze your cheeks. And we'll exhale for a forward fold. In forward fold, the upper body is simply folded over the lower. Inhale for your half lift, flattening your back, and exhale, stepping back. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Look forward and step or float to the top of the mat into half lift. Exhale, fold. Let's hold this forward fold for a couple more breaths. Now inhale, sweep hands up over your head. Exhale, mountain. Again, inhale, salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the feet to the top of the mat into a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep hands up over your head. And exhale into salute. Everybody's doing amazing, by the way. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale through your chaturanga dandasana. Inhale. Exhale. Step into half lift, inhaling. And exhale. Fold. Inhale, sweep arms up overhead. Exhale, back to mountain pose. Let's stand in mountain pose for a couple breaths. Try to just simply feel any changes in your body from when you walked in tonight. It's not chilly in here anymore. Go figure. Go figure. Something happened. Here we go. Let's go get, thank you. Inhale for your salute. Exhale for your forward fold. Inhale to the half lift. Exhale through chaturanga dandasana. Inhale. Up dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale into half lift at the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, back to mountain. 3 more eggs. Salute. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Half lift. Fold. Inhale, salute. Exhale. Inhale, salute. Exhale, fold, belly in. Inhale, half lift. We exhale, stepping to the back of the mat. Chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, feet come to the top of the mat. Back is flat for half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, salute. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, salute. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. shoulders back into the back pockets. Exhale through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We're gonna step the left foot to the top of the mat and the right into a half lift. Wait, she didn't hear what I started with before. Okay, exhale, pull. We're just gonna start on the right foot at the next one. And exhale back down to your mountain pose. 3 breaths. With our chest open and shoulders down, away from the ears. Let's inhale, take our arms up overhead. Pull your belly in, squeeze your cheeks, and exhale as you forward fold. We'll inhale in the half lift. Exhale. Step your feet to the back of the mat. Lower your body down for Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Sink those heels. Take advantage of these moments to lengthen back your body. Take your right foot off the floor. We're going to step right foot to the top of the mat. Sink. Left heel at an angle. Feel your upper body off of your thigh. Sweep hands down to the mat. Through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. From downward facing dog, left toes rise. Left foot comes to the top of the mat. Right heel sinks. We've got our warrior one. Exhale, sweeping your hands down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat as you inhale. Step your feet forward. Bend the knees. Bring your arms up. We've got Utkatasana. And then we'll bring our hands out to the side and down for inhale, we're going to seat the hips, starting in chair. Look up. And swan dive into your fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step your feet to the back of the mat and lower your body to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right toes will rise. And we'll send the right foot to the top of the mat, sinking your left heel. Peeling the upper body off the right thigh. For warrior one. You guys are doing amazing. Sweep hands down. Step right foot back. Lower your body now for Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. We'll plop down there. It still counts. Exhale, downward facing dog. your half lift. In half lift, let's bring the shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Take a couple breaths. Okay, we're gonna sweep hands up overhead and sink the hips for chair pose. And then exhale into mountain pose with a smile on your face because we finished the quarter mala. I will see you in June for part two.
Wait, we're not going to keep going for another?
Absolutely, that's part of tonight is you get the chance to go ahead and I'll give you the coins. I have enough for everybody. You can complete the whole 108 right here and now. So we're done recording. So